Hello, this is Dr. P Trinadha Rao, lecturer in Computer Science, Government Degree College, Narsanapeta, Srikakulam District. Today I would like to speak about built-in functions in PHP.
Dear tutorials, I would like to discuss functions in PHP. What is a function? A function is a block of code with name meant to perform a specific task. What is a function? A function is a block of code with name meant to perform a specific task. Whenever we want to perform a specific task, we create a function, guys. Let's understand how do we create a function or define a function. A function is created or defined with the help of function keyword in PHP. This is the syntax for the function definition. We write the function keyword space the function name, then in pair of parentheses we write set of parameters separated by comma, which is completely optional. Next, in pair of flower brackets we write set of statements to be executed, and then we write an optional return statement. This part of the function definition is called as a function header. This part of the function definition is called as a function body. I want to create a function which should display hi in the browser. To create a function which displays hi in the browser, we write the function keyword space the function name. I am writing here wish hi, and then I am saying pair of parentheses. In opening flower bracket, closing flower bracket, I am saying echo hi br. The responsibility of this function is displaying hi in the browser, guys. You can see that we have not written any parameters here because this function does not need any parameter, and we don't want to return anything back, so we are not using the return statement. Let's create this function. I go to WAMP server www directory. Within the www directory, we have created default.php file. I right click on it, say open with the notepad. You can see that default.php file is open inside the notepad. It has the basic HTML5 document structure code. Title is set to default page. Here in the body section, I say less than $PHP, which indicates the beginning of the PHP code, greater than, which indicates the end of the PHP code. Here I say function wish hi bracket opening flower bracket, closing flower bracket, echo hi, and then move the cursor to the next line. I say file, save, go to browser. Here I say localhost /default.php. We know that localhost points to WAMP server www directory. Within that we have default.php file, right? To execute it, I must say localhost /default.php. I hit enter. You see that default.php file is executed. We didn't get any output there. Why we didn't get hi? The reason is functions get executed only when we call them. To execute a function, we must call it, guys. And how do we call a function? This is the syntax. We write the function name, and then we write pair of parentheses. Inside that we pass parameters if it is asking. Here our function is not asking any parameters, so we just write the function name, pair of empty parentheses, then semicolon. Let's go back. Here I say wish hi bracket semicolon. What happens now is wish hi function will get called. The statements inside the body of the function are executed. Hi will be displayed and control comes back. I say file, save, go to browser and refresh. You see that hi is displayed. Now we got the output after calling the function, right? So remember that functions get executed only when we call them. Let's understand why functions are created. Functions are created for manageability. That is, to divide a larger problem into smaller tasks. We solve smaller tasks using the functions. We combine all those functions together to solve a larger problem. That helps us in managing the code easily, guys. Functions are created for reusability also. Once a function is defined or created, it can be used multiple times. That means I can call the wish hi function n number of times. I go back here, I'm going to copy this line of code. I call the wish hi function once again. I say file, save, go to browser and refresh. You see I got one more time hi. I can call it once again, file, save, go to browser and refresh. You see one more time hi I got. Let me explain how this code is executed. I'm going to copy this code from here. I go to MS Paint. Here I'm going to paste that code. Okay. When the PHP engine visits to this code, it remembers the wish hi function. And when this line is executed, the control is transferred to the function which has the name wish hi with empty parentheses, and the statements are executed one by one. Echo displays the hi in the browser and moves the cursor to the next line. After all the statements are executed, the control comes back where we have called that wish hi function. and then the control goes to the next statement. Again we are calling the wish high function. So control goes to the wish high function, executes the statements inside it. High will be displayed in the browser and the cursor is moved to the next line, and the control comes back to the place where we call the wish high. And then the control moves to the next statement. Again we are calling the wish high. Control jumps to the wish high function, executes the statements inside it. High will be displayed and the cursor will be moved to the next line, and the control comes back where we called it, and then the control moves down. That is how the function is called and executed by the PHP guys. I hope you guys have clearly understood. Functions are also created for abstraction purpose, that is hiding the way how tasks are done. If you want to hide the way how tasks are done, if you want to hide the unnecessary information from the user, you can take help of functions. Functions are used to create libraries also. We know that in PHP library we have a power function, mathematical functions, we have power function, we have sqrt, square root function, etc, etc. If I go here and say echo, I am calling the function called as power and I pass 2, 3 to it. You can see that it is taking parameters, and what it does guys, it returns 2 to the power of 3, 8 in this place. Echo displays 8 in the browser. I say file, save, go to browser and refresh. You see 8 is displayed. Where is this function actually? This function is inside the PHP. It is a built-in function guys. The functions that we are creating, those are called as user-defined functions guys. And functions which are already available inside, those are called as built-in functions. And we don't know how the power function is defined. What is happening inside the power function, right? That is called as abstraction. Hide the unnecessary information from the user guys. I'm going to delete this code. I say file, save, go to browser and refresh. I come back to the Word document. I hope you guys have clearly understood why functions. Note, by default a function returns null in PHP. If you say var dump wish, you will see null displayed. I go back here. I'm going to say here var underscore dump. I'm calling this function called as var dump. Inside that I'm going to call the wish high function, bracket bracket. If I say file, save, go to browser and refresh, you see that it is showing here null. Remember that by default functions in PHP have one statement saying return null at the last. Okay, the last line of the function is return null. So by default a PHP function returns null. Remember that. I'm going to delete this line. I say file, save, go to browser and refresh.